Time again. Everinian. Welcome once again to what, looking at our completion percentages, could very well wind up being the final stream of Kamaitachi no Yoru, Rinne Saisei. I wonder if this is going to make any more sense now that we've actually played a decent chunk of the game already. Man, that sure is Toru. Poor kid, being a protagonist means he never actually gets any screen time. So sad. How sad it is. I mean, it's at least not as sad as the poor fate of those three girls. Having absolutely nothing to contribute to most of the game, how horrifying. Jesus, at least Toshio got to have his F carry some emotional weight a few times. Those butterflies aren't gold, so I don't really care that much about them. Or orange, for that matter. Oh, that guy's getting stepped on. Too bad Cheesy's not here. I'm sure he'd have something very funny to say about that, I'm sure. The funny little creature. Anyway, imagine getting yourself killed so hard even your funeral picture just erases from existence. Man, they killed the shit out of that guy. Developed by people whose credits we can't read. In cooperation with whatever this says. I'm pretty sure that's just a top card. Knights of the Kamaitachi Rebirth. It's not really that much of a rebirth since we don't really know any other version of the game to compare it to, ever since they took Banshee's Last Cry off the iOS store. Anyway, in the interest of preserving our time properly, I did go to the trouble of searching up our next branch off stream, between streams, so we can in fact jump right in. Spoiler alert, it is in fact... Where are we? Here we are. On the Knulp Lodge route. You know, that one with the incredibly obvious setup that we just kind of missed? Yeah, it turns out that was just not a random bit of non sequitur, although that wouldn't be that far out of character. It was, in fact, an unlockable route. So, now that we've unlocked it, let's actually go through it. There'd be no point to just leaving the door unlocked. I mean, that would invite thieves. Do you want to invite thieves? I don't think you want to invite thieves. Did that once already, and look where it got us. Poor Tanaka fucking died. It's horrifying. Once we arrived at the lodge, I forced the humiliating memory from my mind and got out of the SUV. The lodge was run by Mari's uncle and his wife. Its name was... Knulp? Gasp. I tilted my head. You all can't see it because I'm just a PNG, but I did in fact just tilt my head really dramatically and it made this loud snap sound. It's kind of horrifying.
こんな名前だったっけ?
何言ってるの?
いや、ペンションの名前が変わってるような。
Okay, but seriously, what kind of name is Knulp? Smoking seriously. Hello, Bum. Thank you for appearing. Back to the stream. I hope you enjoy yourself. We're playing Kamaitachi no Yoru. It's a very classic old mystery game. Very influential. Also very strange.
スキーして戻ってくる間に名前が変わるわけないでしょ。頭でも打ったの？
Alright, Mari. This may just be the head injury talking, but I submarine light bulb.
いや、いいんだ。クヌルプ。似てるんだけど、ちょっと違うような気がして。
I mean, they're both similar in that the way you pronounce them is very funny. Spur versus Knulp. Just use short O's, loser. Nerd. Nerd! By the time we made it inside from the lot, we were both covered in snow. Still can't get over the fact they're using an entire wind chime as their entry bell. Honestly, how extra can you be? Kobayashi warmly greeted us as we walked through the front door. But his face seemed different somehow. And now that I thought about it, the lodge's interior also looked slightly different than when I'd last seen it.
疲れてるんだな、多分。
What was that? Must have just been my imagination. Whose footprints are these? I shook my head and muttered to myself. But when I went upstairs, I was shocked to discover my room was in a different location as well.
まさか
Masaka! Bakana! Don't you do it. Oh, don't you do it. What's happening to you? I died like an anime villain. It was hilarious. You should have shown up a few seconds earlier. I couldn't believe it.
ここは入るたびにマップが変わるというあの伝説の。
I did, and I'm like, what the fuck? Well, isn't that just like your default state of existence anyway? I don't see what about that is particularly noteworthy, Nia.
不思議のペンション。
I hate you, Mitsu. What a coincidence. I hate me too. Anyway, hello and welcome to Mystery Lodge, Explorers of Combat and Explorers of Itachi. Mari and I turned and looked at the door leading to the cellar. Deep in the bowels of the lodge, there was a rare treasure that no one had ever managed to retrieve. Yeah, let's do some gaming. A gamer, participating in the act of intellectual stimulation known as gaming.
宝を見つけに行こう。
I gave a heroic shout.
宝？一体どんな宝があるの？
You know, the legendary treasure of the Sierra Madre. Incredible how they were able to transport it all the way over here. A box of happiness, right? It's a box that's filled with happiness, I think. A box of shocks. Chock full of spine-tingling chills and suspense. A box of pox, I think. Positively dripping with rare diseases. I mean, if we want to stay on brand for Kamaitachi and Yoru, we don't want to take the box of shocks. But there's also a box of pox. That could be responsible for the state of the world as it exists today. Both of these options rhyme. Which could give me a segue to make a joke about Nox on box and Fox and Socks. And Fox and Socks on Nox on box. And if we talk about Nox, then I'll have an excuse to talk about Monsignor Ronald Knox. And that would be on brand from my brand, which I've been really neglecting lately. And Nia has just discovered a box of cocks. Oh, the doctor. From Scrubs. He's really smart, he could probably help us out. Anyway, I'm gonna do the box of shocks since no one has given me any better ideas.
スリルとサスペンスに満ちた冷や汗の箱だよ。
No, bro. Yes. I was about to say a box of corn. Yeah, but that doesn't rhyme, though. I certainly wouldn't... Actually, I wouldn't pass up some corn right now. Gentlemen, behold! Corn. Maybe we could finally get some decent food instead of having to fish cockroaches out of the soup every day. Finally, some good fucking food.
何それ、バカみたい。
バカみたい。ほんとバカね。How sad. Mari seems disinterested. Went to our rooms to change. Couches. Thought that was a new dialogue, but they aren't letting me skip it. Went to our rooms to change, then met in the lounge by the entrance. There were couches arranged around a large coffee table. Some people relaxing there before dinner. Hail and well met, adventurers. What tidings bring you from the frigid north? The person calling out to us was an eloquent gentleman by the name of Kayama. He had apparently been quite the singer and sportsman in his younger days, earning himself the nickname the Whiz Kid of the Alps and... Huh? Kayama's eyes lit up. Kayama, stop reading my thoughts. That's invasion of privacy. You could do 25 to life.
加山さんじゃなくて加山さんでしたね。間違えました。
Seiichi Kayama. The... you. I hate everything except video games. Nia, you hate everything except League in particular. Don't sell yourself short. Right, the person in front of me was the president of a company down in Osaka. And he was far from eloquent. I would love to leave you the hell out of this, Kayama. But unfortunately, the river won't let me. Don't you dare put League into this. You know, I'd love nothing more. Damn it! I'd been speaking all my thoughts out loud again. I don't just hate it when you forget the difference between speech and thought and wind up accidentally projecting your brain waves into another person's head using your new type powers, and then you wind up forging an unbreakable bond with them accidentally. Every time you do, it always ends up with the lady dying. It's so sad. Really interferes with your schedule on Thursdays, too. Means I'm taking Japanese lessons, because why not? I mean, good for you. My brain is just not wired for Japanese at all. I'm too locked in and well-spoken in what I got right now. Yeah, I took Japanese lessons every day, like, for 3 months, and I still don't have the first line of a katakana chart down. It is bad. And his wife, meanwhile, was a stunner. Way out of his league. I wondered why she'd even married a big palooka like, hey, look at this palooka, look at this smoke. Honestly, Rocky, can you even believe what this... Hold on, let me look up my dictionary of 20 slang. 1 second, folks. Here we are. Look at this baloney spewed big ol'... hold on. He thinks he's the big cheese. I already did a bit in the Bing in the novel timeline where he, this bit isn't funny, is it? I'm going to stop now. I wonder why she even married a palooka like him. Mrs. Kayama gave me a sexy smile, Trebek.
最近は女の子の方が元気があるみたいですものね。
Got that right. Alright, we are now back on the main timeline, which means we gotta get back on the road. I see no possible way this could go wrong.
奥さん、そんなハゲ親父とはさっさと別れて、僕と愛の逃避行をしませんか?
Good old baldy nose hair over there. Doesn't have nose hair. Not sure if he could. He seems to be losing hair quicker than he's growing it back. I felt a sudden homicidal rage directed my way. No, impossible. I've never felt such a powerful killing intent. Mari was wreathed in pale flames. We don't have the budget to show you, but just take my word for it. It's definitely happening real. It's very impressive, I assure you.
Ah! Mari! Akio Taisan!
I have sunk so low. Well, then get a shovel and start digging up. What do you want me to do with that information?
これはオカルト編じゃないの。愛の逃避行ですって。
Mary, don't break the fourth wall. I can't listen to math class, but I can't listen to a rat in a lab coat reading Frankenstein. I mean, Teddy seems a lot more impressive as I was about to say a human being, but it's not. He's a rat. I mean, that seems way more impressive than just a random math class. But you know, Teddy, yeah, he reblogs like he retweets like half my shit. He's like one of the only reasons I have any audience whatsoever at Scope. Teddy Dead Rat is good people in my book. Actually, hold on, as long as I'm in the area. Would be a mite rude to mention someone and not. Dead Rat. I'm fairly certain there's nobody in chat right now who doesn't know Theodore already, but I mean, why not? We got because school. Try not to fail. That would go very poorly for you in the long run. My sweet bitch ass me. Goodbye, my sweet darling incompetence. Try not to die on the way out.
冗談に決まってるじゃないか。僕はマリ一筋さ。
We have fun here, folks.
あら、冗談だったんですか。それは残念ね。
Hey, I'm very good at disappointing people. You should get used to that. When you start calling me darling? When you started calling me sweet bitch ass. Dick. Haruko looked crestfallen. Well, maybe she should get a crest. You mean I actually had a shot with her? Damn. I was about to lose my cool, but then I remembered. There were other women in the room, and pulled myself together. By other women, I was of course referring to 3 white-collar girls who'd arrived. Felt like we had a close encounter somewhere before. Or maybe that was just my imagination. Alright, are we doing a, like, roots or crossing over thing? Or is that, or am I just reading too much into that one line? Next there's Keiko Kitano. She was a bit on the chubby side. As I'm sure you can see... Should I say the voluptuous side? She had big boobies. Finally, Maki Kawamura. There was just something so alluring about the way she wore her glasses. The way the rims just kinda phased out of existence to make room for her eyes. It was absolutely enchanting. And when she took them off, the allure lingered.
捨てがたいってどういう意味よ。
いや、別に。
I really needed to figure out the difference between internal and external monologue. It's when you don't put your name tag up on the top of the window. And your thoughts don't get projected outside unless it's better for the comedic timing. God, it's like you've never been in a visual novel before. Criminy. Criminy Jim Jims. I'd screwed it up. Yet again. There was also a part-time employee of the lodge named Midori or something like that, but she was a hard pass. I got the sense she was already in a relationship with the other part-timer here. And he was very large and frightening. Besides, I had my heart set on someone a little younger. Do you even know how old she is? I think those 3 hotties over there. I mean, I would like to discuss the works of Hermann Hesse, don't get me wrong.
川村さん、僕とヘルマン・ヘッセについて語りませんか？
何気取ってんのよ。普段漫画しか読まないくせに。
Yeah, you know, Hermann Hesse, a world-famous mangaka. God, Marion, here I thought you were cultured. She really knew how to hurt a guy. Very carefully.
あら？
Ararara. We heard the sound of a car approaching.
こんな時間にお客かな？
At this time of night, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within the Knulp Lodge parking lot.
そうね。
So, ne? The car sounded like it drove around to the back of the lodge. Oh, Mickey Moto's dead. Plot resolved, case closed, everybody go home. I'm just kidding, of course, y'all aren't getting away that easily. There was a scream, followed by a loud crash. That's it, he's dead now. I don't know, you don't look that banged up. I guess maybe you also didn't have the budget to change your appearance at all. I mean, you didn't have the budget to get a good mustache. I know I keep harping on this point, but criminy, look at this thing. It's so bad. Why aren't you embarrassed to be seen in public looking like that? A bloodied man staggered through the door.
三木本さんですね。ようこそいらっしゃいました。
Kobayashi rushed out from the dining room, all smiles.
とにかくまずはフロントで記帳を。
Headed over to the front desk, which signed in. And signed the letter. With your own blood. Kamaitachi groaned as he wrote his name in the ledger. Kobayashi didn't seem to notice.
よかったですね。夕食に間に合って。
ものすごく痛いんですけど。
Oh, that's pretty normal, actually. I mean, I heard all the time for no reason whatsoever.
夕食の用意ができました。
But he emerged from the dining room, just as the cuckoo clock chimed the hour. Even though there was a bruised and bloodied guest standing there, she didn't seem to notice. Apparently the staff here wasn't much good at dealing with the unexpected. We filed into the dining room and took our seats. Get that feeling of deja vu? Feeling that you've re-experienced something you've experienced before? And then Mikimoto just kind of phased out of existence. Alright, is this gonna get us anything different?
ケイコちゃん、ツイスターでもしようか。
Don't laugh at me.
鼻の下伸ばしてんじゃないわよ。
I viciously pinched my thigh.
あれ？
And he showed up again. So yeah, Mikimoto just kind of fade out of existence. I guess the implication is that he died on the way back to his home planet.
宝を
Anyway, we need to get that treasure. A box of happiness. It's a box that's filled with happiness.
確か
As you might have
幸
guessed.
せがいっぱい詰まった幸せの箱じゃなかったかな。
Oh, that's where I left my optimism and sense of joy. I knew it was around here somewhere.
素敵。ねえねえ、早く探しに行きましょうよ。
What if it turns out it actually is a box of box and this just gets us all killed? Or maybe there are two boxen. One of them contains happiness, the other contains death. The box of happiness also contains death because being happy will not change the fact you're gonna heckin' die, kiddo. I hurried through the cellar door and descended deep into the earth, down into a labyrinth from which no one had ever returned. First floor. Dry goods and basic daily necessities. As we reached the bottom of the stairs, waves of cold air assaulted us. Cold, damp, disgusting air.
やっぱり帰りましょうか。
What? No, it's fine, it's fine. That's just what happiness smells like. Disappointment. Mario was already chickening out.
何言ってるんだ。まだ1回じゃん。
Just as I said that, suddenly, a random encounter. A monster appeared. It just isn't your day. A goblin? Possibly a mind goblin, judging by the colors game. I mean, the thing looks ready to start gobbling us up. What else could it be other than a goblin? Will you please put on some, like, real pants? You are on very thin ice right now. Alright, time to solve our problems with violence. Just like in real life. Not cried out.
よし任せとけ
I don't want to do. Do I give it suggest some jump kicks or something? Yeah, sure. This'll probably be good for a laugh. Aww! I delivered a flying jump kick.
バンタムキック
何それ？
You know, Toto does his big legs in karate. He can do the splits, no problem. You know.
いやジャンクロード・バンダムって人がいてね知らない
He was only in like the best video game live action movie ever made.
知らない知らない。
じゃあやっぱりこっちで行こう激起こスティックファイナリアリティプンプンキック
Philistine. Anyway, let's stick it to him. There, that's better. We did it, chat. We're winners. The goblin staggered backwards. Right into the only stretch of wall that for some reason was full of jagged rocks. The goblin collapsed and a moment later exploded. I gained experience. Not like a number of experience points, just experience. You know, that the experience of spending time bonding with the ones you love, you know? And in the end, isn't that what's really important? No, what's important is having enough money to keep yourself fed, clothed, and housed. Housed and closed. Maybe emotionally closed. Anyway, I was now level 2.
よしこの調子で行こうか
God, I'm so strong.
待って、ゴブリンがお金を持ってたわ。まあ、ガーマ口なんか持っちゃって。小銭ばっかりね。自動販売機の下とか探して拾ったのかしら。哀れを誘うわ。180円しかないじゃない。
Man, turns out that goblin was poor and we just mugged him for nothing. What's the world coming to? An honest robber can't even make a living anymore. We took the money and kept going. As we continued onward, we found stairs leading deeper into the cellar. I nodded to Mari, and we both went down the stairs without a word. What, you're not even gonna search the rest of the dungeon for treasure or more grinding opportunities? Honestly. Pathetic. You fool. You're gonna be so underleveled when you get to the actual boss. Second floor. Pastries and desserts. The second floor was dimly lit. It was hard to see much of anything. Really saved the artists some time and effort, though.
どこかに明かりはないのかな
Oh, right, sure. I'm sure the underground dungeon of monsters and goblins and such is gonna contain properly rigged electric lighting. As soon as the words left my lips, the surrounding area grew brighter. Oh. Okay.
お気が利くな
トール、後ろ
Alerted by Mari's yelp, I whirled around and saw a huge figure standing there, wreathed in flames. Fortunately, being made... Can we just wait for him to burn to death? Or is he made of fire? In which case, probably has no, like, internal consistency and could probably be, like, disassembled by just throwing a small coin at him. You know, like in Dwarf Fortress. It looks impressive until you start applying actual physics modeling to him.
ちょっと待て、2階に出てくるにしてはちょっと怖すぎないか。ナメクジとかキノコくらいが普通だろ。
Hey man, slugs are way scarier than that thing. They're just so slimy. And that belly aching about the game being unbalanced wasn't doing me any good. Brave Sutoru bravely ran away. Yes, brave Sutoru bravely ran away. I decided to bravely run away. Without a proper weapon, there's no way we can prevail against this thing.
マリ、逃げるぞ。
The fire demon was massive, but slow, so it was easy to escape. Once the creature, which was demonic in nature, was out of sight, we came to a fork in the corridor. The path to the right was dark and smelled like raw sewage, whereas the path to the left was brighter and noticeably drier.
どっちに進む？
Mari looked to me for guidance. Well, obviously, we have to go to the place that smells like shit. That's where all the content is. I mean, my content is shit, and y'all are still watching it, ain't ya? It's the same principle. And Mari's truly embraced the role of a party member. She doesn't ask questions, even when I do really obviously dumb shit. As we followed the path to the right, we soon found a set of stairs leading down. Suddenly, I looked back and saw the fire demon was still chasing us.
早く降りましょう。
Run for it, Luigi! And she was reading the choir. I was already halfway down the stairs by that point. Third floor, women's lingerie. There was a large square chamber at the bottom of the steps. When I turned and looked back up, I could see the fire demon, glaring down at us with hatred.
降りてこれないみたいね。
Well, dang, I kept telling him to go on a diet. Maybe renew that gym membership he never uses.
セオリーだよ、セオリー。
Well, in theory, dogs can't climb stairs. But in practice, he is getting a bit more impressive every week.
何のセオリー？
あんまり深く追求しないように。
Ah, don't be so literal-minded. I caught my breath and looked around the room. There were 3 doors on each of the 4 walls.
全部で12個もあるわよ。一体どの道を進んだらいいのかしら。
And that's quick maths with Mari Kobayashi.
手当たり次第に調べればいいさ。
As I surveyed the room, wondering where to begin, a voice descended from the heavens.
愚か者どもめ、よく聞くがいい。
Okay, hi God, it's you. Mari looked around the room, trying to figure out where the voice is coming from. I mean, I can't understand where the voice is coming from. If somebody wanders into your dungeon, you don't want them to get crushed immediately. It's more fun if they have a fighting chance.
愚か者さん、誰か呼んでますよ。
バカ者！お前たちのことに決まってるだろうが。
I mean, who else could he be referring to? Do you see anyone else here who looks noticeably stupid? I didn't think so.
ああ、そうだったんですか。ところで、初対面の人間を愚か者呼ばわりするあんたは一体誰？
いずれわかる。もしお前たちが 生きて私のところまでたどり着けたならな。
Suddenly, the voice's tone changed.
さて、ここで12の扉の時間がやってきました。正しい扉は一つだけ。後の扉はすべて情け無用の一発死が待っています。さあ、正しい扉を開いてください。
Alright, come on down. Let's see what's behind door number 1. Is it a new
正しい
car?
扉って言ったって。
I looked around the room again, imagining how I was going to die. Each of the doors had a single number or symbol engraved on its surface. Starting from the front, the northern doors were 4, 2, and sharp, or possibly hashtag. The eastern doors were 6, 9, and 3. Western doors were 1, star 7. The southern doors were 5, 0, 8. Okay, the pound sign and the star makes me think of old-timey phones where the numbers were, like, listed on... or rather, the letters were listed under the numbers? So what can we write with this?
なんだよ、この数字は。何の意味があるんだよ。
I looked up and complained to the ceiling.
ヒントを言うのを忘れておったな。いいか ?4 の下の扉を開けるのじゃ。4の下じゃ。わかったな。
We're under 4, okay?
4の下。なんだよ、4の下って。わかんねえよ。
Under 4 on a keypad like that would be 7. Unless I've gotten something horribly wrong, which probably isn't it. And once again, the voice offered no response.
くそ。絶対生き延びてやる。
Alright, it's time to seek a way out. I gazed around the room at the 12 doors, my eyes as wide as saucers.
よし、ここに決めた。
I... The western wall. I stopped in front of the west wall. There were 3 doors lined up before us, labeled 1, star 7.
どれなの？
Oh, you asked me anxiously. I opened the door labeled 7. I boldly opened the door labeled 7. Yay. Hooray. The voice rang out.
ラッキーセブン正解です。では、商品として、奈落の底へご招待
Oh boy, an all expenses paid vacation to hell. That's just my life normally, except without the all expenses paid part. Suddenly, the floor tilted. Mario and I lost our balance and slid through the open door. The corridor beyond was angled like a slide, and we hurled down at a tremendous speed. Whip, 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 do, 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 da, 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 do, 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 da, 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 da.
3階の次が27階かよ。キセルみたいなダンジョンだな。
I mean, we are kind of on the clock here. It's already been most of an hour. We haven't even gotten a single ending.
思えば長い道のりだったわね。
Is it though? Has it really? I mean, we arrived at the lodge. We punched one goblin. We ran away. I did a very simple puzzle. Now we got a far off look in our eyes.
長い道のりだから、キセルみたいだなって。
She didn't seem to be listening.
7階では死の迷路をさまよい歩いたし、12階では魔術師に捕まってカエルにされかけたわ。
See, this is why you always stock up on scaring effects.
そうだったかな。
そうよ。19階ではドラゴンの巣に迷い込んで丸焼きにされかけたし、21階ではスフィンクスの謎を解かなきゃならなかった。
Doesn't everyone already know the solution to the riddle of the Sphinx? I mean, it can't be that difficult after all this time. Hearing her say that reminded me.
そうそう、25階じゃ大変だったよな。蛇の大群に囲まれて。
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Mother gave me a strange look.
何言ってんの？そんなのなかったわよ。25階は意外と簡単だったのよ。
I wasn't sure what the deal was, but I decided to just go with it.
そんなことより、最後の階なんだから、これまで以上に恐ろしい敵が待ち構えているはずよ。気を抜かないでね。
Don't think we did all that power leveling. Obsessive type that I am. I gulped nervously and looked around. A vast chamber stretched out before us, yet not a sound to be heard.
なんだか何にもいないみたいだけど。
There's nothing here.
甘いわ。油断させておいて、意外なところから襲ってくるつもりなのよ。
Or maybe they're lulling us into a false sense of security, lol. It's when you make someone laugh so hard they forget that you're actually trying to kill them.
意外なところねえ。
Like... up?
この床の下とか？
No, you fool. I laughed and stamped my foot on the stone floor. A low growl came back in response, and the ground began to wobble.
なんだ？地震か？
More like a orbital wobble. The walls and ceiling began to undulate, right along with the floor.
違う。地震じゃないわ。
I was right. It wasn't how an earthquake felt.
生きてる。生きてるんだ。この階そのものがモンスターなんだ。
Wouldn't that mean it's really bad at avoiding attacks? Can we just step on it some more? Who knows, maybe it'd like that. Just as I shouted that, we heard a familiar voice.
当たらずといえども遠からずというところだな。
My goodness, you are so pompous.
その声はさっきの。
そうだ。よくここまで幾多の死の罠を乗り越えてたどり着いたな。6階の死のルーレット、9階の魔法陣、存在しない13階からの脱出。すべて私は見ていたぞ。
Yes, I remember the relay of death. I'm sorry I did an entire cover of the Detective Conan OP for it, but... Look, man, I don't get a lot of excuses to talk about roulets in my line of work. And I couldn't pass up a segue that neat.
だから3階からここまで一気に来たんだってば。
謙遜せずともよい。褒めてやろう。
It's like when you use a warp to skip multiple levels in a game, but the cutscenes still act like you had to do them all because otherwise the whole plot would fall apart.
謙遜じゃねえよ。
それより、当たらずといえども遠からずってどういうことなの？
この階がモンスターなのではないかと言ったであろう。それは正解ではない。
Jeez, I
お
didn't
前
even...
たちは初めから
Don't interrupt
私
me.
の中にいたのだ。
Stop it! God. You were so verbose. Did anyone ever teach you that brevity is the soul of wit? I don't even want to make a joke about being inside you. There. As I listened, a horrible sense of foreboding began to overcome me. So if we're inside of him, are goblins like STDs? Because they come from goblin all these nuts? Got him.
とおっしゃいますと
That'd be a problem, actually.
私は業界初の意識を持った迷宮なのだ。人は私のことを恐れと敬意を込めてこう呼ぶ。迷宮くんと。
Okay, this game. Okay, you can say first all you like. But in the end, the horrible sad truth of the matter is that thy Dungeon Man was of course released for much older computers and thus came out first, and hear me out here, the Living Dungeon from Earthbound, which came out 2 months before the first version of this game. So in actuality, you, my good friend, are taking credit for something you did not accomplish.
どこに敬意がこもっとるんじゃ
My shock, I ended up sounding just like Kayama for a second. Surely there is a fate worse than death.
ねえ迷宮くん、あなたはどうして意識を持つようになったの？
Hard work and determination. I seem to be adapting to our unusual situation rather quickly.
それは難しい質問だ。お前たちにしても、そんなことは答えられないのではないか？
I mean, I understand the biological basis of brain power and the nervous system. Do you have either of those things? Do you even have parents?
でも私たちは一応生き物だし、あなたは石とか木でできてるわけでしょ？
ある程度の仮説はある。複雑な迷路をモンスターが行き交ううち、それが一種の神経組織を形作ったのだ。
Okay, so when
モ
I...
ンスターの集合無意識と言ってもよい。
Are you finished? Okay, so when I killed that goblin earlier, did you, like... Did I kill... Did I finally take away your brain cells? Can I finally take away brain cells directly and not just indirectly? It's revolutionary.
それが迷路を作り変え、やがて一つの意志となって結晶した。それが私だ。
I didn't understand a word of this. Given that I was literally speaking to a dungeon right now, I had little choice but to accept it. So all we gotta do is find the neurons responsible for him being such a dick and kill them all.
ところでつかぬことを伺いますが、この階に幸せの箱ってあります？
あるとも。それを求め、冒険を続けてきたのであろう。
そうですそうです。いただけるんですか？
I'd like to be happy sometimes. I can't, but I'd like to. Mari, suddenly excited, turned on the charm.
見るがいい。
You know, over there. Just a hair off screen. Following the sound of the voice, I turned and saw a platform rising up from the middle of the chamber. Colonel. I found the box. It was like a table hewn from solid marble. And on that table, there was a golden chest. No, 2 golden chests.
2つ？幸せの箱が2つ？
As Mari marveled at this turn of events, Little Abby explained.
もちろん本物は一つだけだ。好きな方を選ぶがよい。
Ari and I looked at each other and nodded, then slowly approached the two chests. They were exactly alike, indistinguishable in every way.
どっちにする？
トールが決めて。
I'm not the protagonist, I can't make decisions. Mari smiled. I stared at the two chests. It was a nice chest.
そうそう。言い忘れておったが、偽物の方はもちろん不幸せの箱と言ってな。
Of
こ
all
の
the
世の不
unhappiness
幸せ
and
がいっぱい詰まっておる。
I'm getting sick of your shit, you overgrown Stonehenge. Anyway, if all the unhappiness in the world is inside that one box, then how do you explain my existence? Huh? Huh, smart guy? I don't think you entirely thought this concept out. Baka. Baka, baka.
間違ってそっちを開けたら恐ろしいことが起きるぞ。目覚ましは鳴らなくなって学校には遅刻するわ。テストの山は外れるわ。
Jokes on you, I don't need an alarm to get up because I don't go to sleep in the first place. It's fantastic.
その程度ならいいじゃない。ねえ。
ああ、場合によってはゲームのデータが飛んでしまったりするかもしれんな。
それは困る！
And I screamed in unison.
それくらい覚悟して開けろということじゃ。さあ、どっちにする？
ヒントは？ヒントをくれよ！
わがままなやつじゃな。仕方ない。今日は出血大サービスということで、特別にヒントを出してやろう。いいか？よく聞いて考えろよ。
Okay, so they're having a 2-for-1 sale. Come on down to Big Bill Hills, home of the meanest sons of bitches in the state of Maryland. They both nodded enthusiastically.
弓を持つ手を司るものは何か。これがヒントじゃ。
What controls the hand that holds the bow? Controls the hand that holds the bow that shot the arrow that killed the carpenter. That built the house that Jack built. The hand that holds the bow is the left hand, because you use your right hand to pull back, assuming you are right-handed. I don't know if that actually changes if you're left-handed. I can't think of a good reason why it wouldn't, but that would be fairly unusual. What controls the hand that holds the bow is the right brain, because people are cross-dominant. That's how the brain works. Don't you know?
弓を持つ手を司る？
そんなのじゃわかんない。もっとヒントちょうだい。
Oh, he pitched a fit.
うるさい！これ以上は出せん。さあ、どちらを開ける？右か、それとも左か。
Now Labby pushed us to decide. He was getting very impatient with his insufferably long bit.
待てよ。弓はどっちで持つかな？左手かな？右手で矢をつがえるんだよな。いや、反対か？
Pretty sure you had it right the first time.
さあさあ、どっちだ？
I. Well, moment of truth. I picked the chest on the right. Placing both my hands on the lid, I lifted with all my strength. Then... Hooray! We got the monies. A beautiful melody came flooding out of the chest. It was very quiet for some reason. The audio balancing in this game is not great, let me tell you.
これが幸せの箱？
Probably not.
よくぞ私の謎を解いた。左手を司るのが右の脳だと知っていたとは。見直したぞ。
Yeah, didn't get me that time, did you, bitch? Anyway, yes, I did graduate elementary school biology, thank you for asking.
左手を右の脳が？なるほど、そういう意味だったの。トール結構鋭いのね。
いや、それほどでも。
I kept quiet about the fact that I picked the right chest entirely at random. Beautiful music surrounded us. I closed my eyes and let the sweet strains wash over me. Okay, bored now. Was the box of happiness actually just a music box? Of happiness? Or possibly without even happiness?
迷宮くん、幸せがいっぱい詰まってるってこれだけ？
Ari seemed underwhelmed.
この美しい音楽以上に一体何を求めるのかね。
I don't know, $1 billion in cash, the rulership over the world, the ability to raise the dead, a ham sandwich. I'm just spitballing here.
そりゃ美味しいものとか綺麗な服とかお金とかそういうものでしょ、幸せって。
You're gonna say no, but that's because you don't know what it's like to not have them.
植物的なやつじゃな。ロマンがなさすぎるとは思わんか。
I'm sorry, I'm Miro.
ロマン？ロマンでお腹がいっぱいになりまっか？世の中銭です、銭。
マリー、性格変わってないか？
まあ、そういう考えもよかろう。何かおまけが欲しいというなら、しおりを金色に染めることじゃ。そうすれば、このカードの中に隠されたちょっとエッチなサウンドドラマが楽しめるようになるじゃろう。
Hello, Otome. You appear to exist. That's impressive.
しおりを金色に染める？どうすれば染まるんですか？
それは自分で見つけるがよかろう。最後にして最大の大仕事じゃ。
Hardy, 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 har, 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 har. You're so funny. God. We're so impressed by you. What was the week's schedule? It's not done yet. I'm not sure. There's certain amounts of stuff happening. That's beyond my say. I sense my surroundings beginning to fade.
待ってください！
では、さらばじゃ。
As Lil Labby's voice boomed, space began to fold in itself. Next thing I knew, we were back at the cellar door. I stood there for a while, trying to make sense of what had just happened.
夢じゃないわよね。
Is not life itself a dream? No. No, it isn't. Feel free to bang yourself on the back of the head with a rock, can't believe me.
うん、夢じゃないと思う。
Why is this the ending that gets the sudden delicate piano ballad? Anyway, man, that mountain sure is tall. When we emerged from the stairwell, I could see night had already passed. The first floor lounge was suffused in early morning lights. We stood and stared, squinting our eyes at all the beautiful brightness. Looking directly into the sun like that would eventually wind up blinding us. But at the time, we didn't care. Junk. Ah, that was it. That was us going blind. Hey, we did it. Away. We're winners. Seriously, I'm not going crazy, right? We have not heard this song anywhere else in the game, have we? I feel like I'd remember something like that. It just seems weird that this obvious joke ending would be the one to get the... And I guess it was the last thing we unlocked, so... Ah, no, this was weird. This was strange and mystical. And why does that guy have model toes? How do we benefit from this? That's what I'd like to know. It's got very high arches. It's probably very uncomfortable wearing sandals. My condolences. Anyway, the script was done by Knulp. And the programming was done by Takemaru himself, even though he's a mystery writer by trade. That's interesting, I guess? Man, there sure were a lot of graphics in this game, huh? And some of them were done by you. Yes, you, the viewers at home. What was it like having to draw all those images for this game, huh? I'd be very curious to know. Post your answer in the comment section below. Backgrounds are, as we all know, not graphics. Photography is actually not graphics. I'll allow that one actually for real though. Yes, Knulp is in fact the name of the actual cottage you are looking at photographs of right now. That was the joke. Thank you all for playing. Jinosuke Onizawa, that is the most anime-ass name I have ever heard in all my days upon this bitch of an earth. Starts with an Oni and features a Z in the middle. Guy sounds like he's some sort of wizened old karate master. But apparently he also moonlights as a game developer. What an interesting life he must have led. I'd like to hear more about his story. English localization by Private Kamai. We did not credit our individual members because we are not a proper official localization team. But we did have a public beta, and in the end, isn't that what life's all about? No. No, it isn't. Life is, as we've established, all about money. 'Cause you can't feed yourself on romance. Now can you? Spark! Developed by Spur-sorry Co. Limited. A company we trust slightly more every time we play their games for reasons that have nothing to do with mind control, I promise. And are you done yet? Criminate. There we go. Turn out that light. Are you happy with the choices you made earlier? Never in my life. Where does that leave us off? 30 out of 47 endings. That's 17 left unseen. With 96% of all in-game text left. How does that even work? I suppose there's still a lot of routes we still gotta go over here. Gasp. We still gotta go down this route, but I'm pretty sure this is just gonna send us back to... Yep, we're back here again. All roads lead back there now. And Mikimoto just kinda despawned. Anyway, this is probably just gonna railroad us back there again, but I gotta know about the box of pox. Is the box of pox being stood on by Nox? Being stood on by Fox and Socks? Is Fox and Socks on Nox on box of pox? Eating locks? Picking locks, as the case may be?
奇病の箱? そんな気持ち悪いものいらないわよ.
Ah, Mari, you're just not thinking of the possibilities. I mean, imagine how much money you could blackmail people into by threatening them with that thing. Marie grimaced. And we got back here. Back on this road. Alright, let's head back into the dungeon in that case. Everyone loves boxes.
素敵! ねえねえ、早く探しに行きましょうよ.
Anyway, hello and welcome to my Let's Play of Kamaitachi no Yoru Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Kama and Explorers of Itachi. First floor. Why is it radioactive? Good question. As we reach the bottom of the stairs, waves of cold air assaulted us. Cold, damp, disgusting air. I hate it so.
やっぱり帰りましょうか.
Quitter. Mario was already chickening in, but...
何言ってるんだ? まだ1回じゃん.
Just as I said that... But I know... A monster! A goblin! And the thing looked right, just started gobbling us up. What else could it be other than a goblin? He's so funny, chat. Okay. I cried out. Time to solve our problems with violence. Look behind you, a three-headed monkey. That's a big goblin. Is he? It might just be a matter of perspective. I mean... Honestly, I'm less weirded out by the fact that he's big and more weirded out by the fact that he's blue. Don't see a lot of blue goblins in the world. And look behind you, a three-headed monkey.
Ah! UFO da!
I pointed behind the goblin. Mario leaned forward and joined the goblin, peering down the hallway. The goblin, realizing it had been tricked, launched itself at me. I could feel its rancid breath washing over my face. Man, the man needs an Altoid really bad. But its thick fingers wrapped around my throat and began to squeeze. Well, I'm glad you see the humor in this situation, at least. As soon as the goblin heard Mari's voice, its grip loosened. Nessie, where? What incredible luck! I could fulfill my lifelong dream of seeing the Loch Ness Monster. And in a place like this, no less. Ah, damn it. This wasn't Loch Ness. It's barely even Loch SNES. It's barely even Loch in 10. And if there were a dinosaur here, it sure as hell wouldn't be Nessie. By the time I realized all this, the goblin's claws were already tearing my throat. Toru takes 5 damage. I frantically sought an answer, but no more words emerged from my lips. You see, even as my consciousness slipped away from me, I'd been thinking, if there was a dinosaur here, what would it be called? Nessie got its name from Loch Ness, but this was the Mystery Lodge. So maybe... Lodgy? That was the last word I ever thought. It was quite possibly the most pathetic death in the history of gaming. Worse than getting hit by first Goomba and Super Mario Bros. 3 times in a row? I mean, that'd be pretty embarrassing. Anyway, I can't believe Toru was fucking dead. Lodgy. Archie O. Lodgy. That's his full name. What else would he be doing in a... Anyway, let's wrestle with the goblin. He's not actually that big, it's just a perspective trick, don't be afraid. Fear not, mortals. You grabbed the goblin's arm and twisted it. Don't you try to start talking at this point, you random encounter. Chat, what are we thinking? Mercy? Or genocide? I mean, it's not like we're gonna be doing a neutral route or anything, that's so boring. No one ever streams neutral routes, are you mental? Offer me money. Power, status. Need a powerful weapon. Weapons can be exchanged for multiple monies. Yeah. The goblin took the knapsack from its back and began to search inside. How about it? The goblin held up a pole with an iron ball and chain dangling from one end. It looks like the kind of weapon you'd see in your typical RPG. So it's a sort of very early morning star, or maybe a regular morning star but an area with lots of light pollution? Yeah, I liked my version better.
弱くしてどうすんだよ。もっと強い武器ないのか。
もっと強いやつでげすか。あ、これなんかどうでげしょう。魔法効果のある剣です。
Man, he's just so proud of himself.
ほう、魔法効果か。いいな。どんな効果だ。
It can turn into a toothbrush.
ハルシオンって剣に眠りの効果をプラスしました。名付けてハルシオン。時々幻覚も現れるようでげす。
Alright, if it's the falchion, then we do need it to defeat the final boss. Nothing else will damage it.
またダジャレか。なんだか戦闘意欲がそがれるな。もっとかっこいいのはないのかよ。ドラゴンキラーとかオリハルコンの剣とか。
But if we get the Dragon Slayer, that's a whole different company's game. We'd get in too much legal trouble. It's just not feasible. I'm sorry, Toru.
いやー、もうあいにくあっしの持ってるのはこれくらいで。
So why didn't you try using either of those on us? This is why you're still on level 1. It's not because you're weak. It's because you're incompetent. Just then I noticed another sword like in the goblin's knapsack. Will you please stop talking about the goblin's sack? Please, I'm actually begging you here.
おい、それも見せろ。
あ、これはダメです。
何言ってるんだ、見せろ。
I brushed aside the goblin's hands and took the weapon out of the sack. Don't reach the long throbbing object in the goblin's sack. That's unsanitary. Don't touch him, you don't know where he's been. It was a Japanese-style sword. The label on the scabbard read, Muramasa.
おお、こんないいものがあるじゃないか。これもらうよ。
Muramasa? The demon blade?
ダメです。それだけはやめてください。
いいじゃないか。ケチケチすんなよ。
Don't be so stingy.
ケチで言ってるんじゃないんでげす。それを抜くと恐ろしいことが起こるんです。
またまた。脅かそうったってそうはいかないよ。
本当なんです。信じてください。
Yeah, when was the last time you saw a goblin tell the truth? I mean, really? I was sure a goblin was lying. 'Cause there's content lying that way.
そんなこと言ったってダメダメ。村正って言ったらゲームの中じゃ最高の武器って決まってるんだよ。
Toto. Somehow I always got the sensation you were a sweaty gamer.
そんなこと一体誰が決めたんですか。
I mean, it said it in the strategy guide. Would a strategy guide ever lie to you? The goblin refused to let go of Muramasa, and a tug of war quickly ensued.
ねえ、うるさい。お前 RPG の神様ロバート・ウッドヘッド様に逆らう気か。いいからよこせ。
I don't believe Robert Wood had anything to say on the subject of Muramasa, actually. Finally wrestling Muramasa away from the goblin, I yanked the sword free of its scabbard and stared at it. The blade was beautiful, entirely without nick or imperfection. Without Nick, Steve, Joe, or Bob either.
ほら見ろ。きっと切れ味もいいぞ。
A shiver ran down my spine. Suddenly, the goblin began to back away from me, staring.
おい待て。まだ用は済んでないぞ。
I approached him with a smile.
来ないでください。
Come on, buddy. Why so serious? The goblin gave a very unmonster-like shriek, then turned tail and started to flee. I leapt forward and swung Muramasa at the goblin's back. Oh, ah! That's you, that's what you sound like. Doofus. His torso seemed to split right in two. Green ichor splashed up to the ceiling, splattering everywhere. The greatest pleasure I'd ever experienced went coursing through my body. I'd never swung a sword before in my life, yet I'd been able to slice a monster in half. That's how sharp this was. Unfortunately, the inverse relationship between the molecular structure of a sharp blade meant that one slice was enough to completely dull it. So I guess it's useless now.
どうだマリー、すごいと思わないか？
When I turned, Mari was sitting there, covered in green blood. She was trembling.
どうしたんだマリ
And I took a step closer.
いや、来ないで。
ー。どうしたんだよ。この村正さえあれば、モンスターなんか皆殺しにできるんだぜ。
Yes, now we can finish the job. Yes, what a wonderful idea.
トール、変よ。いつものトールじゃない。
I mean, what is Toru's self? Does he have any personality outside the decisions I make for him? Does he possess free will? Does he even understand what that means? Makes you think. Doesn't make me think though, I don't care at all.
何言ってんだよ。マリこそおかしいんじゃないか？
いや、近づかないで。その剣を捨てて。
I was dumbfounded. I was flabbergasted. I was confused. I was shocked. I was appalled. I was bemused. I was snorkeldaved. That one wasn't even a word, but it still felt right. As if I was really going to get rid of this, the best sword ever. I mean, can it really be that great? I mean, come on, it's not serrated, the blade is just plain old metal color. I think it sounds kind of boring, actually. Think rationally, why don't ya?
何言ってんだよ。村正だよ。捨てられるわけないだろ。
At least hold on to it long enough to sell it at the store.
なら私はもう外に出る。今のトール、見ていたくないの。
ふん。嫌になったんなら無理にとは言わないけどさ。
Suddenly, my sword arm began to itch. Down, down, my right hand! Something seemed to flow between the palm of my hand and Damasa.
人だ。人はもっといいぞ。
I mean, in a pinch, I do stay crunchy even in milk. Unspoken thoughts coursed from the blade.
人？人がいいって一体どういう？
My gaze met Mari's. Then I understood. I shook her head. No. Before I even realized I was doing it, I slashed out with Muramasa. I found myself standing at the bottom of the cellar stairs, bathed in green and red blood. I didn't remember ever leaving the dungeon. What had happened to Mari, I wondered. She'd been right here with me up until a moment ago. I felt like we'd been doing something fun together, but I couldn't remember what. I shook my head in resignation and headed up the stairs. When I stepped through the door to the first floor, Kamaitachi looked at my way and raised his voice in alarm.
トール君、その格好は一体。
It's just chili sauce, don't worry about it. His voice trailed off as he saw Muramasa in my hand.
もっと血を。もっと血を。
Really? Really, man? If you keep on overeating like this, you're gonna gain a lot of weight and then you're not gonna be able to cut anything. Seriously, you need to go on a diet, man. It's for your own good. Someone else's thoughts moved me. I thought thought I saw Muramasa flash through the air, and Kobayashi's head rolled to the floor. A jubilant cry echoed through the lodge. Two joyful voices in unison. Mine and the sword's. Scream. I turned and saw Kyoko standing at the dining room door. I closed the distance between us in an instant, slashing through her torso as I streaked past. He sheathes his sword, says, "Nothing personnel, kid." And she falls in that order. In that order, it's gotta be important. I was the wind. A wind that flew freely, unhindered by anyone. A wind that cut through everything. So like some sort of scientific effect based on vacuum force, named after some sort of Japanese yokai, occurring at night. Then, suddenly, the sword fell silent. Those exultant cries from earlier, that amends for more blood, they'd all gone quiet. Nutty. I stopped. I was no longer lightning, the rain transformed. The sword, which had seemed like part of my hand until now, slipped from my grasp. Muramasa landed down, embedding itself in the floor at an odd angle. In my mind, I began to replay everything that had happened since I'd taken possession of Muramasa. I killed the goblin, killed Mari, killed Kobayashi, killed Kyoko, Kayama, Mikimoto, Midori. Is this a dream? Merrily, 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 merrily? This was all just a nightmare. Oh, wasn't it? I looked at my hands. Have you ever looked at your hands? I mean, just like really sat down and looked at them. It's freaky as shit, my dude. They were covered in blood. I staggered off, unsteadily. Up to the second floor. Looking through an open door, I saw the three girls inside, all dead, piled up like rags. I turned and ran back down the stairs. Kyoko and a headless corpse, apparently Kobayashi's, were lying on the ground. This wasn't a dream. It was the sword. It was the sword, the sword. I have no compulsity in my own actions. The sword had turned me into a homicidal maniac. The least interesting kind of maniac. And it had left my hand because there were no more people to kill. I'd murdered them all. The women, the children, everyone. Even Mari.
なんてことをしたんだ。マリまで。
What has science done? I fell to my knees, then collapsed to the floor. I mean, it'd be weird if you collapsed to somewhere else. My body began to tremble. Ba-vroom. Ba-vroom. You're just getting a call, that's all it is. What should I do? This was a dream. I desperately wanted to wake up. I looked over and saw Muramasa, sticking out of the floor right where I'd left it. The blade, which should have been drenched with blood from the earlier carnage, was now spotless as if it had just been pulled from its scabbard. I reached out my hand and thrilled. Then I reversed the sword, standing it so its handle was on the floor, and the razor-sharp tip was at my throat. This was a dream, I'd wake up. And if it wasn't... At this point, did it really matter? I squeezed my eyes shut and let my weight fall forward. Ah, dang it, game over. Guess we lose. Are you happy with the choices you made? I mean, I don't know, that seemed kind of fun. Muramasa, the demon blade. What happens if we do trust the goblin? What does he give us in that case?
本当なんです。信じてください。
You ever think about the fact that anime goblins are voiced the exact same way as anime children? Makes you think. Not entirely clear about what, but it does.
まあ信じてやるか。じゃあこのハルシオンの件で我慢しといてやる。
ああ、ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。ああ、助けた。
I don't like goblins. Get out of my sight. The goblin wiped away the sweat that had broken out on his forehead, then left us.
よっぽどほっとしたみたい。本当に恐ろしいことが起きたのかしらね。
It doesn't seem likely. There he goes. And I never did see him again. The most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life.
ああ、そうだろうな。よし、先に進もう。
We kept exploring and found some stairs leading down.
マリ、いよいよここからが本番だぞ。
Right. Let's keep it real. Humu. Humu humu. Humu humu humu. Humu 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 humu. Second floor, second-hand apartment. Second floor was dimly lit. It was hard to see much of anything.
どこかに明かりはないのかな。
As soon as the words left my lips, the surrounding area grew brighter.
お、気が利くな。
通る、後ろ。
Now. Alerted by Mari's yelp, I whirled around and saw a huge figure standing there, wreathed in flames, who somehow hadn't been illuminating the room beforehand. Convenient.
ちょっと待て。2階に出てくるにしてはちょっと怖すぎないか。ナメクジとかキノコくらいが普通だろ。
I mean, you shouldn't eat the mushrooms at any rate. But belly aching out the game being unbalanced wasn't doing me any good. Was very fun though, and could make for some fantastic content if I uploaded it to YouTube.
戦ってみたら案外弱いのかもよ。さっき剣ももらったし。
Yes. Sword of power. Yutori started to fiddle with his pants. No, the other sword. Right, sorry. I shouted this advice from a good 30 feet back. I hadn't even noticed her leaving my side. But she's following us about 30 feet back. And there's blood on her face. No, wait, those are different timelines. My bad.
仕方がない。ゴブリン特製ハルシオンの威力を思い知れ。
By the power of goblins, I have the power. I thrust my newly acquired magic sword straight at the fire demon. The effects were immediate. The moment the tip of the sword touched the demon, a powerful sleep spell took hold of me. I thought back on the goblin's words. It was a sword with a sleep effect added to it, but no mention was made exactly who would fall asleep. Yeah, I did pick up on that, I just didn't want to give away the entire game. Maybe some content for the rest of us. Well, shit. I'd been tricked. Man, this sucks. I'm glad I cut you in half, Goblin. You're a piece of garbage. Just before I collapsed to the floor, fast asleep, I felt flames engulf my entire body. Then I heckin' died. The moral of the story? Only a fool trusts his life to a weapon. Anyway. Anyway, hey Goblin, give me your money.
1万円くれたら考えてもいいな。
1万円でですか？持ち合わせが少ないもんで。
Goblin scratched its head and gave an embarrassed grin.
いくらならあるんだ？
そうでですね。だいたい180円ってところで。
Hey, continuity.
冗談言うなよ。コーヒー代にもならないじゃないか。
Well, goblins don't drink coffee, so I don't know what you expect him to do about that.
そう言われましても、この業界も不況の波が押し寄せてましてね。
Poor bastard. It's called stagflation, and it is your problem. The goblin wiped the sweat from its brow with a handkerchief it had pulled from somewhere. Toto, don't ask questions you aren't prepared to face the answer to.
どこも苦しいんだな。モンスター業界まで不況か。
I gave a sympathetic nod.
しょうがない。180円で許してやろう。
ありがとうございます。あ、地下5階にある泉には近寄らない方がいいでげすよ。絶対後悔しますから。お礼と言っちゃなんですが、覚えててください。
Man, he's so friendly. With that, the goblin departed.
なるほど。泉には近寄らない方がいいのか。メモでもしておいた方がいいかな。
Stay away from the
これくらい
summoner.
覚えておけるからいいんじゃない？
そうだな。これくらい覚えられなかったらバカだよな。
You fool. You absolute no good, Nick. You clown. To be honest, I wasn't sure I actually could remember it, but I offered Mario a weak grin despite my lingering concerns. As we continued onward, we found stairs leading deeper into the cellar.
さあ、下へ降りるぞ。
ちょっと待って。あれは何？
When I looked where Mario was pointing, I saw a flashing neon arrow. Express elevator to the 5th floor. I trust this implicitly.
へえ、便利なものがあるんだな。よし、あれに乗ろう。
そうね。文明の利器を利用しない手はないわよね。
Excuse me. Anyway, man, don't you just love the conveniences of modern day living? I'll just take this express elevator directly to hell. Mari agreed, so I screwed up my courage and got onto the elevator. The only buttons were B1 and B5. I immediately pressed B5. sounded more like someone casting a spell than anything else. And then it exploded and we all died. The end. The elevator descended smoothly to the 5th floor. Then the doors slid open. Dazzling light washed over us. Welcome to the mysterious fountain. The labyrinth was awash with colorful neon. Glowing arrows pointed the way ahead.
ファウンテンって確か英語で泉のことよね。
バカだなマリー。ファウンテンと言ったら山に決まってるじゃないか。
I corrected Mari's blatant error.
そうだったかしら。まあいいわ。行ってみる？
Absolutely. No possible reason not to. Let's go.
楽しそうじゃないか。行ってみよう。
We followed the trail of neon deeper into the labyrinth. Eventually, we arrived at an open area with a round stone pool. Standing in the center was a mannequin piece, which is a fancy Dutch way of saying a statue of some naked kid taking a leak.
ああ、しまった！近づくなって言われてた泉に近づいてしまった！
Remembering the goblin's advice, I started to panic.
だから言ったじゃない。ファウンテンは泉だって。
Terror-stricken, Mari and I tried to flee. But... An iron gate slammed down in front of us, blocking our escape. It's alright, you just have to beat all the enemies and then they'll just... The gates will open on their own. You can fight, right? I believe in you. I looked around, but I didn't see any other way out.
くそ、閉じ込められた。
I trapped like dead rats in a cage. Just trying to remember exactly what the goblin had told us about the spring. I was pretty sure it was something like, you'll regret it. Yeah, that was it. Does that mean we're going to be trapped here? Forever? Forever! 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 There was an even more horrible fate awaiting us. Oh, we've met with a terrible fate, haven't we? I mean, not necessarily. This game is fairly poorly balanced. Encouraged by Mari's optimism, I decided to search the area around the pool. First discovery. The fountain was bone dry. There wasn't a drop of water in it. Oh yeah, that doesn't look like water.
ここ見て。何か書いてあるわ。
Mari was crouched down, looking at something. There was an engraving on the front of the fountain. Drink the holy water from the holy cup, and the way will be opened to you.
聖なる杯？そんなのどこにあるんだよ。
CVS? I checked my inventory. Nope, didn't have anything like that on me. Was resetting the game my only option?
あれがそうなんじゃない？
I pointed to the mannequin piece in the center of the room. Looking more closely, I could see an enameled cup sitting by the end of the statue.
洗面所用のコップみたいだけど、他にない以上、あれのことだと考えるしかないだろうな。でも水は？
That was easy. You ever just find the Holy Grail in your bathroom?
とにかく行ってみましょうよ。
We climbed over the edge of the fountain and approached the mannequin piece.
普通だとこいつのここから水が出るんだよな。
やだ、トールったら。
Ari was mortified. And yet she was smiling ear to ear. Evidently, she's the type that actually appreciates dirty jokes.
照れてる場合じゃないだろ。何か水を出す元栓みたいなものがないか探してくれよ。
Come on, we gotta get it going. Gotta build excitement for the crowd, so they'll be able to take a leak more easily. As I said this, I picked up the cup and casually held it under the business end of the mannequin piss. Water immediately started spurting into the cup.
あ、出た。なんだ、こんな簡単なことだったのか。
It's probably poison. You shouldn't eat the poison, it's bad for you. Aye. You know what, I'm gonna pussy around this a bit. I didn't feel like drinking it for some strange reason. Must have could have just come out of some kid's wee-wee.
何してるの？早く飲んで。
They urged me to drink. I looked into the cup of water. It was sort of yellowish and had an acrid aroma.
何してるのよ。ちょっとくらい汚くたって飲まなきゃ出られないのよ。
I was getting annoyed. I
代わりに飲んでくれないか。
maybe if we use our stand to turn it into a jellyfish. I hesitantly asked Mari this.
いやよ、そんな汚らわしい水。女の子の体はデリケートなんですからね。トールが飲んで。
There's no way I could make Mari drink this stuff. I downed the whole cup in one gulp.
なんだか妙な味だけど。
Suddenly, the stone statue began to move.
どっこいしょった。あー、疲れた。よしよし。よく清水を飲んだな。今出してやるから待ってな。
It's funny. Because it was piss. Totally got off his pedestal, went over to the wall, opened a secret panel, and fiddled with some sort of mechanism. The iron gate slowly began to rise.
また気が向いたらおいで。
I'm gonna leave now. With a knowing laugh, the statue climbed back up on its pedestal. Wah wah wah. Mari patted me on the shoulder as I stood there in shock.
まあ、野良犬に噛まれたと思って早く忘れることね。
When I came back to my senses, I ran to the nearest wall, jammed a finger down my throat, and tried to vomit. Nothing came up except bile. I wept in bitter regrets. Wow, he just like me for real.
さあ、元気を出して。男の子でしょ。泣かないの。
I mean, yeah, we're not properly rigged for it. I let Mari drag me back to the elevator. We rode it to the top, then took the stairs down to the second floor in another explosion. Chicka-chunk. Second floor. The second floor was dimly lit. It was hard to see much of anything.
お、
Anyway, hey Satan.
ちょっと待て。
Sure, let's fight. We don't need a sword to fight you. Only a fool trusts his life to a weapon. I charged at it, thinking it might actually be a trash mob. Tongues of flame immediately lashed out at me, engulfing my entire body. I realized my hair was burning, my clothes were burning, my flesh was burning. My hair was burning, my clothes were burning, my flesh was burning. My muscles were burning, my bones were burning, my certified public accountant was burning. My heart was burning. I dropped to the floor and rolled around, trying to extinguish the flames. Can't fall in love. Not again. But the only thing that ended up being extinguished was my consciousness. This is how we die. Alright, what's next? I got roasted, yo! Hey, you mind goblin, tell me where the MacGuffin I already know where it is.
幸せの箱のありかを教えたら助けてやる。
わかりました。教えますからその手を離してください。
Please stop saying words. I released my grip on its arm.
幸せの箱は
Goblin rubbed its throat and began to speak.
幸せの箱は
And I gulped in anticipation, and repeated what the goblin had said.
幸せの箱はずっと下の方にあるんだよ。
With that, the goblin immediately ran off.
あ、こら待て。下の方って何回か教えろ、この野郎。
I don't know what you expected. It was already too late.
そう、卑怯者め。ゴブリンの風上にも置けんやつだ。
いいじゃない。多分地下27階あたりにあるんじゃないの？
I mean, yeah, obviously.
マリー、なんで知ってるんだ？
女の勘よ、女の勘。さあ、先へ進みましょう。
Keep on trucking. As we continued onward, we found stairs.
どこ？お、気が利くな。
Stairs. Then we turned tail and ran. We went right. I know that was the right answer would make the wrong answer. Hold on. Let's go forth into the lights.
左に行こう。
As we followed the path to the left, the corridor got brighter and brighter.
出口があったりして。
I hope loud. I'd been missing the fresh air.
ここ地下2階よ。
I had a good point there. There was a corner up ahead. The lights seemed to be coming from just around it. I hastened my steps and turned to the corner. I got smack dab into another fire demon.
しまった。こいつのせいで明るかったのか。
'Cause he is on fire. Speeding retreat, I saw the earlier fire demon from before coming towards us from the opposite direction. We were trapped! Ow. Mario and I ended up getting grilled like a couple Kumasawa's prize mackerel. Game. Povera. And now this is a memorable way to die. Can't complain too much. Let's punch the goblin. I'm sure nothing bad will come of this.
よし。
Alright. Remember, whenever you have a problem, don't try to talk it out. Just shout, I am a man! And punch it. Me too, buddy. Me too. So that's what a goblin sounded like. But no. Now wasn't the time to be impressed by such things. The goblin counterattacked. The old 1-2 punch. I took 1 point of damage.
蚊が止まるぜ。本当のパンチってのはこうやって打つんだよ。ウルトラマグナムクロスカウンター。
Falcon! Punch! The goblin flashed a bright white, then vanished. I gained experience. Then we met the demon again. Oh, this is a lot of stuff. Let's get all the filler out of the way first.
待てよ。ちょっと怪しくないか？
そうね。あんな風に案内が出てるなんて罠かもしれないわね。
No, I didn't think it was a trap. I just thought it might be kind of gaudy.
とりあえず階段を行くことにしよう。
Better for your cardio anyway. Alright, we knew that was coming. The trashiest mobs of all.
嫌な予感がする。やめとこう。
We rode the elevator back up, took the stairs. Coward.
あ、出た。
Alright, you are really just building that up, ain't ya? Alright, hold on. Keep your pants on. It's almost over. Got all the branches made up at the beginning. Now, how many of these are worth anything? I complained once again, but the voice offered no response. Well, when in doubt, just pick the first option.
どれなの？
Obviously, the one beneath 4 is 4. I boldly opened the door, labeled 4. Oh shit, it's the Reaper! Man, he doesn't even have a cold. I don't know if we're gonna be able to beat this one, chat. A skeleton in a long black cloak stood before me. I held a scythe with a 4-foot-long blade. A moment later, I was staring up at it from the ground. There was now someone else standing before this fearsome Grim Reaper. A man with no head. Spooky. It was me. The moment I realized this, my headless body collapsed to the ground. Blood was pumping from my severed neck. It streamed right up to my face. Oh my god. I was still conscious even though I was just a head. And then, even that faded. Alright, actually, hold on, let me see something. We have 36 out of 47 endings. That means we have 11 endings to go. There are... I believe there were 11, or rather 12 doors. Hold on. There's an easy way to resolve this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.
よし、ここに決めた。
So that's 11 minus 1. Oh, let's get one more.
どれ
For
なの？
mathematics' sake. Jesus. How horrifying. A giant duck snapped me up with its beak and swallowed me in 2 gulps. All of you keep your pants on. I went tumbling down to its pitch-black stomach, where I landed in a pool of powerful gastric juices. Pain washed over me as my flesh melted away, leaving away only the smell of acid and blood. Freaking dead, kiddo. Alright, now then. Alright, yep, that is an ending. So every single possible choice on this, all dozen of them, are separate endings. That could prove to be a problem. Might be a bit tedious, but honestly, after that duck, I kind of do want to go through and see what else they could hit us with.
どれなの？
Alright. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Ow. Suddenly, an enormous number of razor-sharp spears sprang out and pounded straight through me. I guess they lived in the spears of Gungnir to help out. I didn't have time to feel any pain before my consciousness slipped away. This wasn't supposed to happen? Why didn't I... Alright, that one was a bit of a mess. And they're all just after their door. Man. How droll. Alright. East door. The door that came from the east. To challenge us to the amazing Rondo. A woman dressed in white was sitting there. She looked up at me and smiled. She was stunningly beautiful. Just as I was thinking that, the woman's pale neck began to stretch out and her appearance became that of a demon. And didn't even give us a chance to appreciate Toru's incompetence. Also, of all the yokai you could have picked, why something other than a Kamaitachi? Honestly, it's like they got no respect for their own theme whatsoever. I tried to run for the mythical beast, but its 6-foot-long neck reached out and coiled around my throat. I'm a strangle a person's neck with my own neck. I couldn't breathe. Eventually, the life was squeezed from my body. Yep, really making it quick nowadays, ain't ya? I still remember those halcyon days.
どれなの？
When a bad ending was considered an excuse to give more plot and details. Gives you a chance to really internalize what your protagonist was like. Your wills of steel and your line of sparks risings. Damn kids these days, from the past. Damn adults these days. A 9-ton iron ball came rolling out at me. Man, you could tell how much it weighed just by looking at it? That's impressive. Before I could even move, I was flattened like a pancake. It was very funny. Alright, now you're making fun of me. Now let's see what's behind door number C. Actor Toshiro Mifune, famous for playing countless samurai on the silver screen, was inside. Wow, Toshiro Mifune, can I have your autograph? Oh, do you ever feel bad about not taking the role of Obi-Wan in Star Wars, the original trilogy?
Ah, Mifune Toshiro-san!
Before I could take even 3 steps towards him, his blade whipped through the air. It was a truly magnificent display of swordsmanship. Hey, the guy's really famous. He's probably sick of autograph hunters. You gotta imagine that's tedious after a bit, you know? Like, realistically speaking. Let's get over here.
どれなの？
Let's see what's behind door number 1. There are some enormous Dobermans in size. I took a single look at me and started barking. Aw, puppies. Good dog. Good dogs. You're good at being dogs. I'm very proud of you. Before I could even turn to run, the Dobermans tore through my windpipe like it was made of paper. I watched fresh, hot blood spurt from my throat. My consciousness became one with the cosmos. Thank you to the doggies. I love them. Right? We're gonna pick the star door because I'm the star of this show. I boldly opened the door labeled star. A tidal wave of uncooked rice came rushing out at me. Bam. Before I could react, I was completely buried. I heard my ribs cracking, my chest began to buckle under the weights. You know, when you said you wanted a lifetime supply of rice, you should have specified. Moments later, my soul took its place in the stars. Game over. Then he died dead. Alright, bottom option. Let's head down to Southtown. I boldly opened the door at 5. On the other side of the door, there was only inky darkness. Then the darkness began to flood forth. It surged across the floor to my feet and began to crawl up my body. Oh, this is the closet where I left my violin. Oh, just cockroaches. Ew, bugs. There must have been 5 million of them. I was very good at speed counting. The chittering mass of roaches climbed my legs and swarmed over my chest and up my face. As I tried to brush them away, I felt a sharp stabbing pain. Blood was flowing from my hand. Are cockroaches even capable of biting people? I think that's fake, actually. They cut my face, crawled beneath my clothes, started burrowing into my skin. My vision went black. I collapsed to the ground, bleeding from every inch of my body. Jesus Christ, how horrifying. Let's see what's behind door number 0. I mean, obviously this has got to be the correct answer. It worked in every single puzzle in Catriel and the Billionaires Conspiracy. There's nothing on the other side. Just infinite space. A total vacuum. But space is a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. Then, with a whistling noise, all the air in the chamber began to get sucked out through the doorway. Alright, and I along with it. As I spun through the empty void, my consciousness shrank to nothingness. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. I boldly opened the door labeled 8. A second later, I felt something stretch out and wrap itself around my body. Is it a garden hose? Oh. That's almost cool. A giant 8-legged octopus. As opposed to all the other types of octopi, that inhabit this world in which we live. A couple of thick, slimy tentacles, please say that, began to constrict around me. Me too, buddy. Me too. Pain coursed through my body. I heard my ribs start to creak. Gah. Gah. My mouth filled with blood. And then... nothingness. So that's all the ways you could have died to the wrong door. I hope it was worth it, cause it wasn't from my perspective. Where leave us off? Yep. All but one bad ending's found. I guess maybe it's time to finally put this case to bed. I mean, we could do that already. We already know the good endings to every case. So let's pick the wrong chest. See if they go through with their threat to wipe my save data. I picked the chest on the left. Placing both my hands on the lid, I lifted with all my strength. Then... wah wah wah. Shrill laughter rang out through the hall.
全てってまさかデータまで
In fact, I looked over at Mari. Huh? I could see right through her.
Mari!
Oh no, Mari. Did I accidentally go back in time and sleep with your mom? Mari was disappearing. Just like a ghost. Ooh, spooky. Mari was a ghost the whole time. That's the trick. Thank you all for coming, everybody. She reached out to me. As I reached for her, as I could see through my own hand as well, I was disappearing too.
Mari!
Just keep on moving that slider a bit at a time. I'll be rid of them eventually. Everything returned to nothing. Bump. You got the gold bookmark. Congratulations. That if the Kamaitachi gets a little naughty has been added to the music page. Originally part of the bonus CD, this is an audio-only experience. Wait, doesn't that mean that there's... Yep, I'm not seeing any subs.
さあ皆さん、プレイルームは12時で消灯し
Well,
ま
I
す
guess
よ。
that does mean... we're done here. Alright. Well, I guess that's it. My completionism did wind up costing us a pretty good ending point, but that was Kamaitachi no Yoru. Rinne Saisei, a remake of one of the most influential games in my focus genre ever made. Even if we did wind up spending a lot of time going down weirdo rabbit holes that didn't really amount to anything, I did enjoy this quite a bit, actually. The two mystery routes both had very solid plotting, nothing super creative, but they were executed very well, especially the route in a novel. I think was worth the price of admission by itself. That was an absolutely brilliant mystery case, and genius in its simplicity while staring you directly in the face the whole time. The alternate routes did in fact give us quite a bit of new content to look at. Gave us some very interesting new spots. I do appreciate the way they didn't feel themselves beholden to the canon of the original story. Man, everybody got their own chance to shine, we got to have characters portrayed in different ways. It's just more, and I think that's kind of important in a title like this. I definitely see the shared lineage from something like this to something like Zero Escape with its multiple roots that actually touch each other at some point. But I believe that's all there is to the title. So, please do enjoy whatever you do with the rest of your day. I will see all of you next time. So don't go getting yourselves killed before then.